Morning, today we're doing What's in My Camera Bag 2021. Let's jump straight in. First thing I want to say is this is my first time recording on a new microphone, so I really hope this sounds good. It should sound a hell of a lot better from the tests I've done with it. But yeah, if there's any audio issues throughout this entire video, that is why. Okay, so a few things have changed from my camera kit since 2020, and personally, What's in My Camera Bag videos are probably my favourite type of content to watch on YouTube. I'm just so nosy. I love watching these videos, so I want to make them. I want to make them as well. Before we go any further, this isn't all of my kit, and it's not specifically what I would take on shoots or jobs or anything like that. This is my day-to-day street photography, general photography, lifestyle photography, all sorts of photography, say photography more, kit that I would take with me day to day. And this does change from time to time. This does change throughout the year. Sometimes I start to prefer different lenses, different setups. So it does mix and match, but this has been my solid kit for the last couple of months. The majority of it for the last year, but there's a few new bits which you'll see as we go through. So this is the backpack. I've spoken about it 100 times on this channel, but it's the Wandered 31 litre Provoke series. It's the photography bundle. It's incredibly dirty right now, but as you know, this is my go-to bag, and if you haven't seen the video already, I'll link it up above or in the description so you can check out the videos I've made on this bag, because it's just sick. Alright, diving straight into the fun stuff. My main camera is still the Sony a7 III, which I'm recording on right now. Absolutely in love with this camera still. It's just so good. I just love it. So that's the camera we're using. The lens that sits on the camera all the time is the 17 to 28mm. This is my wide angle lens. I use it for vlogging. I use it for just general shots. Yeah, great little lens, really enjoying it. I've picked this up mid last year. The quality of this thing for the price comparing to the G Master range is insane, and I love it, and yeah, absolutely love it. Next lens, which is always in the bag, is the 85mm 1.8. I am in love with 85mm. 50mm, 35 to 50mm used to be my favourite focal length until I got my 85mm, and now this is my go-to for almost everything. The Tamron sits on the camera because it's a lot easier for wide angle because I want to vlog or whatever I'm doing. But if I'm going out just to do photos, this is probably the lens that is on my camera. It's so sharp, it's so crisp. I just absolutely love this lens. I love the compression that 85mm gives, and it's just, yeah, that is currently my favourite lens in this kit. And it's not even that expensive compared to some of the other versions or models that you can get. It's just a great lens, to be honest with you. I highly recommend it. If you've just got Sony or getting into Sony, I would highly advise this lens, personally. But I really like compression cropped in look. Next lens is the Sony 50mm 1.8. Now, I wasn't actually sure whether to include this in this video or not, because it's not in my camera bag all the time, but it's in there enough for me to justify it. I really like 50mm. As I said a minute ago, 50mm used to be my favourite focal length. I still absolutely love 50mm. It just looks great, but I've been favouring the 85mm a lot. However, this lens is so small, it's so compact, it's so light. This is the cheap little version you can get from Sony, the Nifty 50. I think all the brands have their Nifty 50 lens, which is just usually a couple hundred. It's comparatively a really cheap lens. So it's so lightweight, it's so small, it just slots in. So I actually leave it in my bag quite a lot, even if I end up not using it that much. But I've filmed quite a few POV videos on this already, and I do use this a lot, don't get me wrong, I use this a lot, but I favour the 85mm. Okay, next thing that's always in my camera bag, Rode Videomic, I think that's what it's called. The Micro, the mini little Rode Videomic. This is just, it's so small, it just slots straight in my bag, it's easy. I use it for vlogging. I was using it for all my audio until I upgraded this microphone. It's a great, for the price, it's like 40 to 50 pounds. Great little microphone, highly recommend it. Still use it a lot. I'm still going to be using it all the time while vlogging, and it's always in my bag at the moment because I'm trying to vlog more. I'm trying to document more this year, so by leaving this in my bag and having my vlogging set up with me at all times kind of motivates me, and it makes it easier for me to do that instead of thinking I need to go get that, or I haven't got a microphone, I haven't got this, Obviously those limitations shouldn't stop you, but let's be honest, we all fall into that trap where we let them. So by having it with me all the time, I don't have that limitation. Okay, newer addition over the last month or so is the Olympus Om1n. Now, this is the new film camera I've got. I've been trying to shoot a lot of film recently, and because of that, I've been keeping it in my camera bag to avoid just being in a situation where I'm like, oh, we should pull that. especially at the moment I'm doing a little project with film. I'm capturing the effects the pandemic's had on the local area. So having this with me at all times when I go and shoot is just massively helpful for that project, which is, we're 22 shots in out of 36. We're getting there with it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So this has got the 50mm 1.8 lens on it at all times, and the 28mm 2.8 I always keep in there as well, because as you probably saw in a previous vlog, I didn't take it out and I ended up really wanting it. So now it just stays, because it's same as the Nifty 50. It's so small, it's so light, it just sits in the bag really easily. It doesn't take up much room. So that comes with me everywhere as well. Okay, next thing in my camera bag, and this I already know is going to be different next year because I've just upgraded it a little bit. As I've mentioned before, I'm shooting on a Minolta 125 Riva Zoom. This is my little point and shoot film camera just for memes, for daily lifestyle. I've ended up having this in my camera bag for the last couple of months because before it was always just sat on the shelf up there, and I wasn't using it to capture the photos I wanted to, and it's taken me an entire year to take 25 of the photos. So I've decided it's now coming with me everywhere I go so that I can use it, basically use up that roll. Now I've actually just upgraded this. I've been looking for a new point and shoot. It's one that's not a zoom or anything like that, but still nice and compact, which I've just got, and it should be here tomorrow. I'm so excited. But yeah, so that'll probably be different next year. But this is the current point and shoot that I'm carrying around with me, as I say, point and shoot film camera, because I love film. I just love film, and I'm kind of hooked on it now at the moment. I've always loved film, but I didn't do it for years, as I talked about before. We're not going to go into that. That's another story. Random thing, neck strap. Always carry my neck strap with me. This is mine, like I made this because I'm cool. But yeah, this is my neck strap. I always keep this with me in case I want to try and get stable shots. I haven't got a gimbal with me or anything. So obviously put it on your camera. You know the trick, all the YouTubers say to do it. May help stabilize your shots. I always keep it in the camera bag because it weighs absolutely nothing. And also just for general, using it as a strap so that I can just sling my camera over my shoulder. So, you know, always in the bag. Okay, we're getting into the miscellaneous bits now. That's the main camera kit. But the next, and the final camera in my bag is my GoPro. And as you can see, it's already on the chest strap. And that's because I film quite a lot of the POV street photographies. And I've found myself in a few positions when I've gone out to take photos just for fun. And I thought, you know what, I would love to be capturing it for my POV, just to make, not just to make a video, but because I think it was a really good shoot and I felt like doing it and I didn't have it with me. So now it stays in the camera bag at all times, makes life easier, don't miss the shot. I say it stays in there all the time. I will take this out because it's not a necessity for my camera kit. If I'm like, I'm going to take photos now, not for YouTube, not for Instagram, I just want to go and take photos, I will take this out of the bag because I don't want it in there. I don't want to have that mindset. But the majority of the time, this is in the camera bag. Next up, we have my little cleaning kit, which is just a little microfiber cloth, pen, and a rocket blower in a little pouch that I found. Filters. So, I recently got a proper filter case because I didn't have one before. In here we have what is that? That's my 2-400 stop variable ND filter. Another 2-400 variable ND filter, that's obviously for my smaller lenses, so my 28-70mm and my 50mm. Circular polarizer, because, you know what, I don't use polarizers enough. And it's always in my camera bag, but I never use this thing, and I really should, but I just don't. And my black Pro Mist by Tiffin, which I still love this. It's so sick. It just looks so vibey, but it is a specific filter. It's not one to use all the time unless you always want that vibe. I'm not a fan of that vibe all the time, but when I want it, so it's with me. Vlogging handle, this is the new one. As you'll notice, I have not mentioned the GORRILAPOD because the GORRILAPOD is no longer in my kit. As you might have seen already, we broke up. This is my new vlogging handle because it's just so much easier to put down. I made a whole video on it about why I'm using it, what it's consisted of, but it's a hell of a lot easier as a vlogging setup, and yeah, no longer using the GORRILAPOD. Okay, miscellaneous stuff we've got in here. Step up rings, step down rings. That's already set to my smallest lens that I will carry around with me, all the way up to 67 thread, and then the Pro Mist, and Pro Mist has the other two on it because that's a 82 or whatever it is, so they screw onto there if I need be. Don't actually use it very often, but I've got them just in case because they weigh nothing. Business cards, always carry business cards. Haven't given any out in well over a year now, and I actually am in the process of updating these because these are really out of date, but handy to have anyway, just in case that situation arises. Spare memory cards. As we all know, even though I carry spare memory cards all the time, I only ever seem to run out of memory when I haven't actually got these with me. But yeah, these stay in the bag all times. I've got standard SD cards and I've got micro SD cards in here for the GoPro as well as the DSLR. I haven't got DSLR, I've got mirrorless. Spare batteries. I always carry 2 spare Sony batteries and 2 spare GoPro batteries just in case. That's like my worst nightmare, is running out of power mid-shoot. So I've got 4 spare batteries total, as I say, 2 for the Sony, 2 for the GoPro, all the time. If I am out with the drone, I have 2 spare batteries for the drone as well. As you can see, there's a theme here. I like to have 2. I feel like 1 spare battery is just never quite enough. But yeah, 2 spare batteries. These live in the bag unless they're being charged. They are always in the bag because I don't want to run out of power. And last but not least, I have a notebook in my backpack for writing down memes, special moments, whatever's going on, whatever I want to write down in there. It's always in the front pocket with a pen. So that is it. As you can see, there's actually probably quite a bit more in my bag this year than there was last year, and it is actually a bit heavier, to be completely honest with you. It's got quite heavy. That's because I'm now carrying a mirrorless camera, 2 film cameras, and a GoPro with me pretty much everywhere I go, which is excessive when I say that out loud, but that's my current kit. That's what I'm using. Obviously I'm not going to go anywhere without my digital camera. I absolutely love it. I'm really getting to film at the moment, so I'm taking the film camera. The point and shoot, I say it lives in the bag unless if I'm going out on, well, we don't go out, but the plan is when we're not in a lockdown, I can just grab it and go. And if I'm not taking my cam bag, it's in my pocket. The plan is to have it with me pretty much all the time, but at the moment it lives in my camera bag. And yeah, as I say, the GoPro's there for in case I want to film any POV videos. In case I want to film any POV videos. So that's it. That's my kit. That is what's in my camera bag 2021. If you like the video, drop a thumbs up down below. It massively helps me out. Subscribe if you aren't already. Join the community. We're approaching 200. We're getting there. We're getting there. So close. All the other stuff that YouTube's telling to do. I hope this audio sounded good. As I say, it's the first video with this microphone. Yeah, that's it. Peace. Videos.